All right, ladies, here we go. Here is Chapter 8, Section 2, Understanding Your Paycheck. Several of you have already been to this point where you have received a paycheck that has actually had taxes taken out. Others of you may not have. One thing we're going to talk about is a direct deposit. Direct deposits are awesome. Your paycheck is electronically transferred into your checking account. Instead of your employer handing you a check and you have to take that check to the bank to have it deposited or put it in the night deposit or ATM, you just automatically have that money there in your account. Usually that is going to be set up in advance. So on the date of payment, first thing that morning, that pay is going to be transferred into your account, which is really nice. Some information on your pay stub. If you receive a pay stub, you should in some sort of aspect, because it shows on there what your total earnings were and then what is all deducted, because you do have a right to know how much you are paying in each tax just to make sure there has been no mistake. So some information might be your ID. Normally in small businesses that we work for around here, it is going to just be your name. In bigger businesses, they may identify you by an employee number and maybe just your last name. Of course, it's going to show your earnings on there, but not only your regular earnings, the number of hours you worked times what you got paid. It'll also show any overtime that you worked, because you should also keep track of the number of hours you worked and the number of overtime hours you worked, just to make sure that the pay is being calculated correctly. Your earnings, sometimes the actual pay stub may classify it as gross pay. Gross just means total, so they might call it gross earnings. They might just call it total earnings. It could be total pay or gross pay. The third thing that can be listed on there is your deductions. Deductions are all of the things taken out of your paycheck for whatever reason. Most of these are going to be taxes. You do not have a choice whether or not you are having taxes taken out of your paycheck. These bottom ones, your retirement, savings plan, healthcare, and dental, some of those may be optional, some of them may not. As I have mentioned, our retirement here through the school, I do not have a choice how much I choose to put in my retirement here. It is just a flat percentage of my pay goes into retirement. And then, like I said, an advantage is the school district will now, they meet that same amount. If you choose to have some put into a savings plan, some of these are going to be tax deductible, which means you do not pay taxes on the money that's put in there. Healthcare, if the business does not provide it for you, you can have that taken out, a certain amount taken out. And maybe if you want to have the business pay for dental care, but technically it's coming out of your paycheck, you can have that deducted as well. So the employer has a right to show you all of your earnings, and then all of your deductions, everything that is taken off of your earnings, and then what is left is your net pay. This is the actual amount of cash that you will receive. Here's an example of an earnings statement or possibly a pay stub. It tells you what time frame are they paying you for. It's for August 1st through August 15th. The date that they are actually paying you will be August 15th. Sometimes maybe the 15th falls on a Friday or Saturday and you may not get paid until that following Monday. So this date can actually change. It will have what your name is, does not have to have your address on there. It could or could not have your social security number. It is not required to be included on there. But again, it must show your earnings. And in this example, it's showing the regular earnings. We are paid $7 per every regular hour worked, and we worked 30 hours. So our total pay, therefore, is $210. Overtime, it's time and a half of 7. So they're going to get paid the 7 plus another half of that, which is $350. 7 plus the $350 is your $1050. We worked 4 hours of overtime, so 4 times the $1050, you come up with $42. So if I add these two earnings together, the total earnings is going to be $252. That is what the taxes are based upon. Then it shows how much is taken out for each individual tax. Some of these are figured as a percentage of your earnings. Some of them come from a chart that the government has created. But again, These taxes right here, we do not have a choice. They are automatically taken out. These bottom ones in G is where we can opt to pay them or not pay them. Marital status, that makes a difference because that will affect how much federal income tax our employer needs to withhold. Now, keep in mind that the amount of taxes that are taken out is not money that stays in your employer's pocket. It is a liability to them, which means now they have to turn around and they will have to pay that money into the government. So don't be mad at your employer when your paycheck is less than what you think it should be. It is money that's going to be paid to the government. The year to date just shows from January 1 to today the total amount of each individual tax that you have had taken out of your paycheck and the amount that you have paid in. So total gross pay for today was $252, but again, this year to date from January 1 to today, we have earned a total of $3,654. Our net pay for this pay period is going to end up being $201.59 once I have all of these taxes taken out. Don't forget to complete your questions for 8-2. They are located on Schoology, and we will see some of you tomorrow on Tuesday, some Wednesday, and looks like we'll see everybody again on Thursday.